Alright, you guys know what time it is, and I just want to say before I get started, much love to all the Nightwish fans out there. You all have been really good at giving info about the band and the songs that I react to in the past, educating me a bit on things I don't know, giving me some background information. It's all been much appreciated, because really I'm totally new to the Nightwish experience. Like, I started out listening to Tarja and then Annette, and then moved on to Floor, but even so, I've only heard like maybe a dozen Nightwish songs in total. So as long as I've been on this journey, it's still very much in the early stages, and I appreciate any help that fans offer me. And, just the viewership and support as well, I really appreciate that. So my Nightwish journey continues today with a song and live video for Ghost River. Before I jump in, like, comment, and subscribe, follow me on social media, and also join my Patreon if you want bonus content. Those links will be down below in the description if you want to check them out. Alright, Ghost River by Nightwish at Wacken 2013. I hope this is the correct live performance that you all want to see, but let's check it out. Let's dive in. You gotta give them respect for the elaborate live shows they have. Really cool. I really like this right away. I like how they just have Floor singing over a drum beat. It's like a drum beat that gives like a very anticipatory feeling too. So it's really good for getting you like pumped for what's going to come next in the song. So we're off to a good start. I can see why you guys always recommend that I check out live performances, because when it comes to Nightwish, they're very much a band that is defined by the stage, by the theatricality of the band, by just the power of their performance. So that's really the best way that even I would recommend to anyone looking to get into Nightwish for the first time. Yeah, really cool so far. Let's keep going. Oh, a little bit of granular voice there. Oh shit. Didn't expect his vocals to kick in along with hers there. I love how they're harmonizing with her. I absolutely love that. I love how their voices are so different and they're so contrasting. They're both having different melodies. It's really like, I'm going to say Beauty and the Beast, even though he's not doing harsh vocals really, per se, but it's like dark and light mixed together in the form of singing, if that makes any sense. I just thought that was really cool. Like, that was really unexpected. It just kicked in a way that just kind of threw me off, but in like a really good way, if that makes sense. Hope I'm explaining myself properly. I really like that. That's the bottom line. I mean, nothing should surprise me at this point vocally when it comes to this band. They're always on point. They're always exceptional, fantastic, and spectacular. But it's just this one in particular is doing something for me, man. Like, this might be one of my favorites, and we're not even halfway through. So let's keep going. Little riff there. Oh, I love this. way she carries the note. It's amazing. Another thing I just want to point out really quick, Floor really looks like she loves what she does, and that's so cool to see. I love seeing when a musician is passionate about what they're doing, and when it's like so readily apparent on their face. Like you could see that smile there. Like I'm not for, metal musicians necessarily always having to look super aggressive, super serious. Like enjoy what you do and like put that on display if you want to. Like just show that to like your audience. Like have fun with them. Share in your happiness, share in your passion for the music with the people who are engaging with you. That shared experience, that intermingling, that back and forth between the artist and the fans, emotionally speaking. It's so cool, man. So Floor really seems like she's purely enjoying what she does every time I've seen a live performance of Nightwish. And that is contagious, man. I'm definitely feeling some great energy on this one. This might be my favorite song by them. That's crazy to say, maybe, but I don't know. There's something about this one that I really am loving. And I don't consider myself someone who would like listen to Nightwish often, just in the sense of like the genres that I gravitate toward. I'm more of like an extreme metal kind of guy when it comes to that. Black metal, death metal, all that stuff. But certainly there are moods and times where I like to listen to Nightwish. And this song, I think, would be the one that I would listen to the most. And we're not even finished yet. Those are my thoughts so far. I was wondering when the symphonic would kick in. Oh man, the guitar is nasty on this one. That's why I love this one so much. Love that harmonizing. So good. I got so caught up in the music I forgot to even pause it again. Okay, so I need a moment to gather my thoughts here, I think. Just right off the bat, something that's on the top of my mind. Can we talk about how amazing the guitar was on this and how it carried that song so well? Like, it was right up there on par, qualitatively, with Floor's voice. Like, and, look, the guitar is always great in Nightwish, but there are times when it's, like, really riffy and really heavy. And those times, in my listening experience so far, are a little bit rare, I don't know how, within their entire discography, I don't know how often they go heavy with the guitar, but I haven't heard it quite as much. And when I do hear it, it's always like a really nice surprise. So I really liked how riffy the guitar was in this. It was really just, it was guitar work that you would expect to hear on a song that would be much heavier vocally, that would have like harsh vocals or something like that. But you didn't, and because of that, it was a nice and maybe a little bit atypical contrast of elements. Like just hearing Floor's voice over that kind of heavy guitar was a very nice pairing, and it's something that I hope to hear more often with this band. And if you know specifically songs that are like that, I want it. Like, send it my way. Leave it in the comments or tier 4 on my Patreon if you want to make your request and make sure reaction happens to it right away. That's how you do it. But either way, let me know, because I definitely want to hear more of Nightwish's heavier songs. Like, that's, I think, where I'm really at. Like, don't get me wrong, I've pretty much consistently liked every Nightwish song that I've heard, some more than others. But the ones that I really, really enjoy, that I really find myself gravitating toward, are the ones that are really heavy instrumentally. And also the ones where Floor does go a little bit gritty with her voice, go a little bit, maybe lean into a bit of a snarl, or, and I know she's capable of that because I've reacted to a song by Revamp, so go check out that reaction if you missed it. But yeah, like, she is, what do they call it, a jack of all trades? So what would she be? A Jill of all trades? When it comes to vocal ability. Like, she can do everything. She really can. There's no limit. There just isn't. Like, and everything she does it so well. And she does it with such passion, like, that's fully on display, and that makes all the difference. So the range was excellent, and her vocals paired with Tuomas's vocals, I hope I'm pronouncing his name correctly. The way that the way that they harmonize together. Once again, it's just so good. I really, really like male and female vocal harmonization. That's one of the things I really have always loved about Lacuna Coil, my favorite band. But I also know that it's tricky. I know that not every band that does it, at the very least, appeals to me, and not every band that does it necessarily gets it right. Nightwish gets it right, and when they do, it just hits a certain way. Like, this gave me chills at various points throughout the song, and that doesn't happen often with music. So this is very much a possible contender for favorite Nightwish song for me. Even though it's on the shorter side, like, I know they have songs that are much longer than this, but I don't know what to tell you guys. I mean, I really liked it. This one just hit me differently. It brought a kind of energy that I really found myself getting into right away. And, in the past, I have been maybe sometimes reserved when it comes to Nightwish, because it's not firmly in my comfort zone. It's increasingly getting there, but it's not, like, right there in the center. So for me to latch onto this music right away and to have liked it so much right away, that was surprising to me. But it is what it is, and I'm adding this to a playlist. I really am. So yeah, that's my thoughts on the music. Nothing to criticize. Now let's get to the lyrics. Let's see what we're talking about. It's a long road down the river, deep and wild. Every twist and turn a wonderdale. It's a scary ride we'd give anything to take. Let yourself bleed. Leave a footprint on every island you see. Hey you, child of rape, the riverbed awaits. It's darker than I thought. Snow white, pitch black, your life such strife. Heavenward, deep down, I'll show you such sights. Believe it, we live as we dream. Scream. He will go down, he will drown, deeper down. The river wild will take your only child. The mills grind slow in a riverbed ghost town. What is it you dream of, child of mine? The magic ride, the mermaid cove? Never met a kinder heart than yours. Let it bleed. Leave a footprint on every island you see. I am the painted faces, the toxic kiss, sowing of doubt, troll beneath the bridge. Come across, death by 1,000 cuts. I am the desert scape, the sand inside your hourglass. I am the fear and abuse. The leper children, every eye sewn shut. Beautifully shy as you are, never lose your heart, and do come across. So I'm a little bit ambivalent as to what the exact meaning here is. But as I always do, I'll try my best to interpret it. And so, on one hand, this is clearly a story about abuse, right? And a child that was born from abuse. And so maybe the Ghost River is a metaphor for the kind of spiritual death, in a way, that happens when someone goes through something that horrible. Or maybe the Ghost River is... this one might be a stretch, but you know how in certain stories, a mother will send her child down a river, and then the child is found and adopted by people? That's one thing that this makes me think about. But I don't know that it would exactly make sense because I don't see how that could explain a ghost river. But one other thing that crosses my mind is the river Styx. So, in Greek mythology, the Styx is a river that leads into the underworld. So because someone literally crosses the river to pass into death, that would actually make the most sense when it comes to the actual song title. But it might be dealing with life and death, right? Like, so where it says, let yourself bleed, leave a footprint on every island you see, that sounds like it's really life-affirming. Like the idea of letting yourself feel, even if it's pain, and of seizing the moment, living in the moment, and making the most of everything that you see and everywhere that you go, the world around you. So here's my theory. This, I think, is dealing with a child who was, or who is, dealing with a kind of darkness or depression. Maybe because of the horrible circumstances under which they were conceived. Again, this is child of rape. And maybe they also come from a broken home or they feel damaged. But either way, I think that this child may be contemplating ending their life, going down that ghost river, and that this is about the struggle to hang on to life and to postpone that journey down the river into the underworld for as long as possible. That's what I think so far. And this takes me back to a reaction that I did a couple weeks ago, where the subject of rivers also came up. And on that occasion, I was also trying to figure out what the symbolism was behind it. And on that video, I talked about how rivers can sometimes be used as a symbol of purification or rebirth. So maybe in this child's mind, the way that they can be cleansed of their tainted upbringing or their damaged life, the way that they can feel renewed, the only way that they can think of is to leave their body behind and become a spirit, a ghost. And so the river Styx metaphor would still apply if that's the case. And that is pretty dark when you consider that this would be going on in the mind of a child. But since I've explored Nightwish on this channel, I've come to realize that they definitely don't shy away from dark subject matter. So that, it's possible. It could be what's being said here. But their songs are often so poetic that I don't always know if I'm interpreting it correctly, But really, I feel that this is a song about suffering. And what suffering and hopelessness looks like through the eyes of a child. And look, kids are meant to have a love for life. They can and should be natural optimists. So to me, there's very little in this world that's more horrible than child abuse in any form. And I think when these lyrics talk about how the child was conceived, it's probably implicit that the child also was mistreated in some pretty bad way. And it's very difficult to try and understand how warped someone's mind has to be in order to harm a kid. But we know it happens all the time, People are sick, man, But, ideally, a kid should be given every opportunity to seize the most out of life while they've got that imagination and that youth and that vital love for living. Something I wish that we would see more in grown men and women, right? It's like something that we, to a certain degree, as we get older, it's something that we lose. And some of us get it back and some of us don't. But just this ferocious eagerness to live and to live wholly and passionately. And that's what I think the first verse captures, that wild spirit of childlike adventure. Every twist and turn a Wonderdale, it's a scary ride we'd give anything to take. And going back again to let yourself bleed, leave a footprint on every island you see. That also makes me think of being a child, because you get cuts and scrapes. You're not afraid to get messy and get banged up a little. That's all part of how kids explore and have fun. And then when it says, the riverbed awaits, and it talks about things being pitch black, your life such strife, I think it's showing how the kid's spirit is being crushed, burdened and overwhelmed with the life that he's living. So, yeah, that love for life is being snuffed out by whatever turmoil he's going through. Whatever toxic environment he's having to grow up in. It's bringing a darkness into his world of wonder and imagination. And I think by pairing those lines with the verse that comes before it, the song does a pretty good job of juxtaposing those two wildly different feelings and emotions. And it makes it that much more tragic of a song. He will go down, he will drown, deeper down. The river wild will take your only child. Yikes. So, look, I'm going to state the obvious, as I tend to do. But for anyone watching this who is going through something, it might feel good just to hear this. Because you're not alone in feeling the way that you're feeling. Trust me. And, death should never be an option to escape from a bad life. There is always another way, even if everything looks bleak, even if you can't see how things could change. There's always a way back to happiness, even if you have to fight tooth and nail for it, even if you have to claw your way back to it inch by inch by inch. And sometimes you do. It's a shitty situation, but the struggle will be worth it, somehow, some way, at some point in time. And sometimes it can take painfully, painfully long to get there, but you will. I grew up in a situation where domestic abuse was happening, and I lived in abject poverty and dealt with homelessness and starvation during my early teen years. There were times when I wanted to give up, where I didn't think that I would make it to adulthood. But here I am, and in a way that I could have not predicted, and in circumstances that I could not have foreseen. So I held out. I stayed stubbornly fixated on living. Because here's the thing. No one gets to finish your story except you. No one gets to control the narrative on how your life is going to be unless you let them. And so, even if there's a situation where a helpless child is dealing with these feelings, and their life is being driven into a dark place by circumstances or by the decisions that adults make, a child won't be a child forever. And there will be time for healing, and there will be time for moving forward. And there will be opportunities that present themselves. But exiting this life is never the answer. And if you ever have those feelings, there are resources and there are people who are there to help you. So, I did feel that I needed to say that, because I sometimes break down a lot of songs with darker, very desperate lyrics. And I think that it helps to counterbalance that with a bit of human compassion, giving people a message of positivity. But all in all, whether I came close to the precise song meaning or not, I think the writing is pretty decent and definitely makes you feel something. So, that's my take on it. And, of course, in the comments, let me know how close or how far I came from the actual song meaning. But Nightwish are always pretty adept at writing meaningful songs. And on top of that, the music was absolutely awesome. There you have it, guys. I'm going to wrap it up here. Again, let's start a conversation in the comments below. Let me know what you think. Don't forget to like and subscribe if you're new. Join the Nuclear family. Check out Patreon. Hop on Tier 4 if you want to make sure your song request gets a reaction right away. That's how you get that VIP treatment. Until next time, much more content on the way. Much love and respect to the Nuke fam. And I will see you all very soon.